Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Oh, I'll put my microphone on. Let me just do that. Just bear with me a second. There you go, I think that's changed over. Let's swap, yeah, okay. We have, you can't see it, but we have the pleasure of Arthur with us today. So he's sitting right next to the microphone, so you might hear him purring away. Okay, so sit yourself in a good level cross legs. Just spend a moment just to really address your balance, just to feel that you are definitely even in the seat bones. Hold on to your knees and consciously elevate your heart area up to the ceiling and drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving, and focus on filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Aiming to keep your eyes as still in the sockets as you can. Acknowledging that when they move, it's often related to a thought. So aim to keep your eyes still in the sockets, which helps to keep the thoughts quiet. Breathe from the bottom of the lungs to the top, inflating the lungs, making the chest rise upwards and outwards. And exhaling from the top of the lungs to the bottom, allowing the chest to relax with the out breath. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, push the palms firmly together. Lengthen from the armpits into the elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just continuing to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top, consciously listening to the sound of the breath, feeling how the chest expands with the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath. Continue to elevate the heart area upwards. And then with an out-breath, draw the chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Lift the chest to make contact with the chin. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area to the ceiling. Draw in your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And then turn to the right side. Draw in your abdomen across. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Listening to the sound of the breath. Using the out breath to intensify the turn. And again, keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Just looking at something that doesn't move. Use each out breath as a function of turn. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Again, just allowing your eyes to be still in the sockets. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Digging the back hand into the floor. Digging the back hand into the floor or the cushion that you're sitting on so that you sit on the front edge of the seat bones. Draw the abdomen across. Draw your ribs across, your shoulders across. Listen to the sound of your breath. Use the out breath to intensify the turn. Observe how the pose responds in the body, how the body responds to the pose. Come back to the center. Just hold on, come off your lift, sorry. Sit back on your heels. And just spend a moment just to sit back on the heels, letting the legs mold into the floor so that there's really good contact between the shin bones, the shin skin, and the mat. So consciously push the shin bones into the shin skin so that the legs make really firm contact with the mat, so that the thighs activate. And then elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears, and then stretch forwards. Come into Adho Mukha Virasana, stretching your arms forwards, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms, keeping the seat bones down on the heels, and then finally bring the forehead down. Keep the seat bones down on the heels, keep the hands pressing deeply into the mat, stretching the hands away from the body. Listen to the breath. Although we're bringing the head down, try not to let the front chest kind of collapse in on itself. Keep the heart area extending towards the chin. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on pressing the hands down into the floor, keeping the arms straight, keeping the tailbone turned in. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Observe, even though there's nothing to look at particularly because your eyes are looking pretty much directly into the mat. Do you keep your eyes still, or are they moving? Aim to keep them still in the sockets. Come up onto your knees, have your hands as wide apart as your mat. Have your feet as wide apart as your mat, and come up into dog down. Press the hands, press the palms consciously into the mat. Tighten your kneecaps. Activate your thighs. Push the fronts of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs and lift the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the legs. Consciously turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just feel how the body adapts to the pose. Observe your internal balance of action. So the legs feel like they're working evenly. So that's a difficult one to judge. So observe it. Observe how the legs are working from the inside. Step the feet forward, come up into standing position, and then just come into Tadasana. Lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty your lungs from the top to the bottom. Turn the palms all the way out so that you rotate the upper arms in the sockets. Spread the fingers, spread the palms. Activate the legs like you're in dog down. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Tuck the tailbone in. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Just feel how the feet plant themselves on the floor. Again, just look forwards. Look at something that doesn't move, so that your eyes remain still in the sockets. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot, turn it all the way out. Feel that your heel of the right foot lines up with the instep of the back. Have a quick look, make sure that that's indeed the case. Adjust the feet if necessary, and then reset your eyes. Just feel that you can activate that back leg by tightening the kneecap really firmly. Activate the front leg by tightening the leg, by tightening the kneecap, and turning the front of the thigh from the big toe side to the out to the little toe side. And then come over into trikonasana without losing that back leg, without losing the action of the back leg. Look up. Again, keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Just feel the pose from the feet to the hips, to the chest, to the spine, to the chest, to the arms, to the head, to the neck, and to the head. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Turning that front leg. Squeezing the front leg buttock bone forwards, hitting the back leg towards the wall behind you. Turning the abdomen up to the ceiling. Turning the chest up to the ceiling. Reaching up into that top arm. Come back to the centre, stretch up with the top arm, come back to the centre. Keep your arms outstretched if you can. And swap the legs around, turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out. Again, just keeping your eyes still in the sockets, looking at something that doesn't move. Reactivate your legs, tightening the kneecaps. Turning the legs from the inside out, especially that front leg. So the left leg this time is the front leg. The right leg is the back leg. Really firm up the kneecaps. Feel that they're working evenly. Feel that the legs are working evenly. And then maintain that evenness as you come down, keeping your eyes still and look up. Activate those legs evenly. Turn the front leg outwards, turn the back leg outwards. Lift from the feet into the hips, into the shoulders, into the neck, into the arms, into the neck, into the head. Suck the calf muscle of that front leg into the bone. Just feel how the body responds to the pose for you this morning. Working with that tension between the front leg and the back leg. That front leg buttock bone squeezing forwards, the back leg hitting towards the wall behind you. Okay, reach up with the top hand, come back to the center. Bring the feet parallel and then step or jump the feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. So listen to the sound of your breath. Focusing on inhalations and exhalations. Again, just keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Keeping the eyes still in the sockets helps you to quieten the brain. Helps you to draw your attention inwards, to feel the pose in 3 dimensions, to see the pose through the feeling of the pose. So tighten your kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, tuck the tailbone in without disturbing the legs, lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, all the shoulders down away from your ears, lengthening into the fingertips. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then relax for a second. Get a couple of blocks for your hands. So you might not need them, but it's useful to have them. Have those on the right side of the mat, somewhere you're not going to jump on. Just give yourself enough room to jump the feet. Just lift up into the chest. Turn the palms all the way out. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then stretch your arms forwards, turn the palms outwards, and then bring your hands into namaskarasana. Bring the tips of the fingers together, turn the fingers up towards the neck. And then wing the elbows back, lengthen from the shoulders into the elbows and draw the elbows into the heels of the hand. Namaskarasana. And then observe that this probably makes your Tadasana do this a little bit. So turn the legs inwards. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Hit the thighs back so that your weight goes into your heels. Turn your tailbone in. Draw your belly button and your lower ribs towards the spine. Lift the heart area. And then step or jump your feet wide for parsvottanasana. Turn your left toes in really steeply and then rotate on the right foot And then at this stage, it's useful just to pick up that back heel and turn it out a little more. Turn that heel out. And then turn the front of the thigh of that back leg inwards, so the hips are more likely to come level. Turn the fronts of both thighs inwards. Keep the kneecaps tightened. Keep that thigh, keep that heel of that back leg down, and then come down. If you lose your balance, release your hand and just go down to bring your hands onto the blocks. Otherwise, keep the chest lifted. Keep the chest lifted and long as you come down and find the leg. Keep turning that back thigh inwards, turning the front thigh inwards, keeping the hands together in Namaste if you can. Lengthening the chest along the leg, keeping the head lifted until chest is in contact with the mat, with the leg, sorry. And then come down. If you lose your balance, then release the hands. Okay, release your hands down. Just come into the parsvottanasana with the hands on the floor, extending the chest away, using the blocks if need be. And then bend the front leg, step the feet forwards into tadasana, get hold of the blocks, and then come up into tadasana. And then put the blocks on the other side of the mat. And then come back into tadasana. So it requires some real quietness of the brain to focus on the balance. Observe how the body feels now. Perhaps there's an energy around the brain, around the back of the neck, around the shoulders. Perhaps your heart is pumping a little more quickly. It's all part of the practice. Just bring the breath back to a normal rhythm. Stretch your arms forwards, turn the palms, bring your hands behind you into namaskarasana, into namaste behind the back. Just walk the hands up the back. Maybe this time you can wing the arms up a little higher. Wing the elbows back. Lengthen from the shoulders into the elbows, and then from the elbows into the heels of the hands. Come back into your tadasana. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. Tightening the kneecaps evenly. Tucking the tailbone in, drawing the belly button to the spine, the lower ribs to the spine, the heart area to the ceiling. And then step or jump your feet nice and wide. And then turn your right toes in really steeply, and then the left leg and foot all the way out. And then pick up the heel of that back leg and turn it all the way out. So the heels are in line for this pose. Consciously turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, especially that back leg, but also the front leg. Lift out of the chest up into the sky. And keeping your eyes still in the sockets. As you come forwards, keeping the head lifted. As you come forward and down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping the head lifted as you extend the chest along the leg. And then just bring the head down at the last minute once the chest is in contact or close to the leg. Keeping the hips level, keep lengthening from the feet into the hips. Working both legs evenly. Okay, release your hands, bring your hands to the floor. Just extend the spine away. And then bend that front leg, step forwards, come up into, have the feet together in tadasana. And then just be in tadasana for a moment. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, get the blocks, just have them at the front edge of your mat. You might not need them for this, it's parsvottanasana, but have them just in case. And then stand with your heels against the back edge of the mat. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, lifting body up to the ceiling, feel tall. Listen to the breath. Turn the palms all the way out so that you rotate the upper arms in the sockets. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump to the feet. Go nice and wide, go wider than any of the poses that you've done so far. So parsvottanasana, uttanasana literally translates as wide feet. Turn the toes in. Press the heels into the mat. Have the thumbs on the, have the hands on the hips. Stretching the thumbs towards each other behind you. Winging the elbows back. And lifting the heart area up to the ceiling. And then hinging at the hips, keeping the head lifted. Hinging entirely at the hips, keeping the back straight, the head lifted. And then reach down and find the floor. So feel that you can lift out of the feet up into the hips, from the hips into the spine, into the chin. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So working to straighten the back at this stage, being on the fingertips, lifting from the fingers up into the armpits. If you can straighten your back at this stage, then keep your back straight. Again, relying entirely on the hinge of the hips. And bring the head down. You can use a block underneath your head if it helps. Have the heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So I cleaned my mat the other day because it was getting a bit slippery, and so I just wiped it down with some anti-bac, and my feet are sticking to the mat really well. So it's really good to lift out of the feet into the hips. So it's definitely worth giving your mat some maintenance every now and then, because it just brings firmness back into your pose rather than slipperiness. Okay, lift the head, just come back to the center point. Bring the palms down, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together. And then just come back into Tadasana. I'm just turning to the sides because I'm going to raise my arms up. Just to maximize my limited ceiling height, raise your arms up. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep your eyes still in the sockets. Feel the physical body in 3 dimensions, from the feet, like a 3D printer, kind of scanning up the body, up the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingertips, into the head. So just feel where the body is in 3 dimensions, keeping the eyes still in the sockets. Feel how the feet connect to the ground. And then release your arms. Bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. have the blocks for your hands, and then we're just going to come into half uttanasana. So have your heels in line with the edge of the mat, have your little toes in line with the edge of the mat, and then hinge at the hips, and then come up onto the fingertips. So we usually do this straight after dog down. We've done lots of poses in between, so just feel how the body is activating right now. Try and have the hands underneath the shoulders. Observe the activation of the legs. Are they evenly activated? Extend into the spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. If you can go down lower, then do. If you can reach all the way down to the floor, then do, but not at the expense of losing the extension of the spine. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Going inside and observing your activation. Does it feel balanced? Does it feel even? Does it feel universal, or just focused on the legs and forgetting about the spine, forgetting about the arms, forgetting about the neck, forgetting about the head? Bend your knees if necessary, find the floor, walk your hands towards the end of your mat, have your hands shoulder width apart, really spread the palms, and then step back, have the feet hip width apart, and come back up into dog down. Pressing into the floor, activating the legs. Feeling that you can maintain that balance of internal action. And that's difficult because it doesn't happen without A, observation, and B, without effort. So work towards evenness of effort on the inside. Never forgetting about, it's easy to think about the legs, but maybe not so much about the spine, about the arms, about the hands. But if you're finding it difficult to balance one element, go to the others, try and balance those, and then go back to the element that you were struggling to balance. Okay, down to your knees, and then sit back on your heels for a moment. Just take some deep inhalations, deep exhalations, observing how the body has woken up, observing how the body feels, that lightness of energy from the inside. Just listening to the sound of the breath. Just come into cross legs. You can sit on a lift if you need to, or you can sit directly on the floor in half padmasana or swastikasana, whichever. Swastikasana is just normal cross legs. So whichever feels most doable for you. If you sink when you sit in cross legs, sit on a lift so that you can roll onto the front edge of the seat bone, so that you can elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Lift the heart area up to the ceiling. Draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Either closing your eyes but keeping your eyes still in the sockets, or looking at something that doesn't move. So Jalandhara Bandha. Incorporate Mula Bandha, lifting the anal sphincter consciously upwards towards the diaphragm. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Observing how the breath brings in energy to the body. So Ian, I think you said you had to leave at 10 to, so just make sure you do shavasana before you finish, but it's about 46 past, so just do shavasana, just bring yourself down to the ground before you stop. Just feel the energy of the breath. Filling the lungs and almost overflowing from the lungs and into the arms and into the legs and into the chest. The breath is a function of life that's more essential than food and water. Yet we pay very little attention to it. When we do connect with the breath, we more consciously connect with the energy that it draws into the body, the prana that surrounds us, drawing it into the body, bring in lightness on the inside. Okay, just release the chin, release the mula bandha. Look forwards, just lift up into the chest. So from here, we're just going to come into Adho Mukha, swastikasana, Adho Mukha, Ardha Padmasana. So if you've got a bad back, you can stay at this stage, or you can go down onto your back into supta konasana, laying on your back with your feet together and your knees apart, feet close to the seat bones. Otherwise, lift up into the chest, lift the abdomen away from the diaphragm, come forwards, lifting the chest, lifting the head, and then stretch your arms forwards. If you can't reach the floor, then use some blocks underneath your hands, or sometimes it just gives you more space to lift up into the heart area. Try and keep the seat bones down. So be on fingertips, lift up into the chest. And then if you can, just keep coming forwards, trying to keep the seat bones down. They will want to lift, so press the palms into the floor. Try and slide the hands away. And then maybe you'll need a block for underneath your head just to support it. Just pressing the area between the eyebrows into the mat, into the block. Keeping the arms consciously activated so that you can press the seat bones down into the heels. Sorry, not into the heels, into the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then push yourself up into a seated position, holding onto your knees. Just observing the quietness that comes over the brain as you come out of a forward bend. However you are crossing your legs, I want you to cross your legs the other way. So if you're in swastikasana, if your right leg is in the front of the cross, then you swap it around for the left. If your right foot is on top of the left knee for padmasana, then swap them around. So just swap the legs around. Just make sure that you're feeling even at the seat bones. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. And again, really lengthening up from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Using those blocks underneath your hands, just at first, just to give you space, just to maintain that lift of the chest. Stretching forward, so you're stretching out the back. Then you can just lower the blocks if you're comfortable to do so. Coming forwards, lengthening forwards, and then have a block for underneath your forehead. And then stretch forwards, feeling the opening of the back. Feeling the stretch of the hips. It's a similar stretch to the Parsvottanasana, isn't it? Although it will be in half padmasana, it's definitely in the top leg that gets the biggest extension. Give yourself more height underneath your head if it's not comfortable, or if the stretch feels too much. Keep your arms activated. The more you spread the fingers, the more you straighten your arms, the more you give space into the back. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then come back into cross legs, just again observing the quietness of the brain as you come out of a forward bend. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the right side, digging the back hand firmly into the floor, lifting the abdomen, turning the chest. Digging the back hand into the floor so that you maintain your position on the front edge of the seat bones. Feeling that the seat bones are evenly placed. And then come back to the centre. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the right side. Sorry, to the left side. Just turn the other way. And then gently come back to the centre. Just come down onto your back, have a folded blanket for underneath your head, and we're just going to go into supta baddha. So just come down onto your back, and have the feet as close to the seat bones as you can get them, and then let the knees fall apart. So pull the feet into the seat bones, let the knees fall apart. If there's any discomfort in your hips, then you can use some blocks on the outside of your thighs. Just feel how the pose brings openness to the front of the body, openness to the hips. Just feel that you can release into the ground. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Feeling that as you inhale, you are bringing in the energy of the universe. So we inhale the oxygen that surrounds us, and the body uses that oxygen to draw it in through the blood into every living cell, and then the body and the cell uses that oxygen to perform its function, turning carbon dioxide back into the blood, pumped back round the lungs and exhaled through the nose. And the carbon dioxide that we exhale helps plants to thrive, and in turn they absorb the carbon dioxide and they emit oxygen that we inhale. So we're part of a grand scheme. We're not just here solely for us, we're here for everything. We sustain life as much as we take it. Okay, draw your knees together, have the knees together, the feet apart for a moment just to rest out the hips. And then straighten out your legs. Just come up onto your elbows. Make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. And have the folded blanket underneath your head again. And just allow yourself to release into the floor. Let the muscles consciously relax. Let the muscles relax, let the bones relax. Allow the body to become heavy on the floor. And then out of that heaviness comes a sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles. into the organs, radiating pure golden light, which illuminates the muscles, illuminates filling the body with positive energy. Using your breath to inhale into the body, inhaling down into the toes and into the fingers and up into the top of the head. Distributing that physical positive energy around the physical body. Gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then very gently roll yourself onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. Just letting your energy settle, and then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, into cross legs with the hands in the masti, sitting on a lift if you need to. Close your eyes, bring your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created around the heart area. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness we can carry into our day as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you really elevated your energy but brought quietness to your brain, so you can tackle the day with some levelness and with some calm. So thank you very much for joining.